I really loved the Nira episode. I was like on the edge of my seat the entire time. You did an amazing
Wow.
job.
Thank you. Thank you. I keep hearing people on the edge of their seats, which makes
Yes,
me
I was
very excited, but also like, oh, I hope they're okay. Right. Like, I hope I didn't, hurt
okay. I'm
anybody.
okay. It was
Good,
stressful, but I
good.
made it through. Um,
Ah, yes.
but how were you approached to direct for solos, and what was it that spoke to you about the story?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I read the script and was instantly blown away. I will say it took me a while. Usually when you read a script, you have to sit with it a little bit. And I sat with this one for a while too, because I didn't understand it. I didn't fully understand what, who she was. And after the second read, I was able to like get more involved in it. And then by the third time I read it, now it's like, okay, how do I execute this, right? How do I translate this from the script to the screen? And that process was really great. I recognized the many challenges that it had. It's one character in a room, and then she goes through this, extreme life changing experience.
Right.
So it was just kind of wanting to take my time, be very intentional with the way in which I move the camera, when I move the camera, and just building the world out and letting the audience, like you say, sort of start them on the edge of their seat a little bit. I think we come out the gate very strong as to what is happening. And Nicole and I really, we had to find Mira together on the page and sort of build out those nuances and those character moments that she just instinctively had. And it was a great challenge. It was something that I look back on now and I'm just like, wow, we did that. And to do it in COVID, like it was a lot. It was a lot. But we figured it out,
Right.
and it was a great, we held each other's hands in that process, which was really nice.
Oh, that's wonderful. I was going to say, like
Yeah.
Nicole was amazing, and it really
Yeah.
is her story, like you said. But was she already like? Was it written with her in mind? You knew it was going to be her when you came on, or did you find her and work together on creating that character?
Yeah, well, when I first read it, there wasn't anyone attached, and I had conversations with David. He was so open to any ideas in terms of actresses that I was interested in, and we both individually kind of did like a little, cast list of, wish list of sorts. And Nicole was on both of our lists. I had been a fan of her work for a while, and she brings such a groundness to the character, and what I think she was attracted to most too was it was a little bit stepping out of her comfort zone because there is such a physical aspect of this character that she needed to bring to the table. I think that's what excited her about it, and same for me. And when we spoke about how I was going to approach the labor scene, it wasn't necessarily scripted that she was standing, and that was something that I thought could be interesting. We've never seen a woman deliver a
Right.
baby like that, and in my research and talking with doulas, like that is a natural way a woman could deliver is standing. And so when I kind of had those conversations with Nicole, she was like, "Yeah, I think that could be interesting." And then just the idea to kind of shoot it very static and not, move it. That was also like just giving her that space to just create and move freely in that, and kind of going up to the wall. Like that was all her. I just locked the camera off and said, deliver a baby. And but it was, there was a lot of technical things in there too. But it was just such a great experience, and I had no idea, like, if it was gonna work, and you hope that it translates and people, that it's effective, and it sounds like it was. So
It
so that's
definitely
great.
was effective. But speaking of,
Great, great.
like in the description of the episode, it says it's a
Yeah,
near future fertility treatment. But in watching it, it could also be like you don't know exactly how far in the future it could
yeah,
be.
yeah,
So how
yeah.
did you work to kind of like navigate where it is in your mind and where this is taking place?
There's totally, there's subtle things in the space that made me feel like it was a bit more near, like future,
Mhm.
in terms of like the radio, and how the like hologram around the radio, and just the idea of this like better baby. I felt like it was, we're like 20 years into the future. But then what's interesting too is the world still it doesn't feel futuristic, right? There's, not, I mean, we're just in a cabin, but there's nothing like floating or anything of that nature. So it does still feel now. But we just wanted to pepper in a little bit of those sort of sci-fi elements that brings it a little bit further into the future.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that because it definitely, I think, adds to sort of like the uncertainty of the story in the episode, right? You're like, oh, where am
Yeah.
I? What could be
Where,
happening?
what? Yeah, yeah. I think it is scripted though, as
Mhm.
if I remember correctly, maybe like 2035.
Mm.
So yeah, still not too far.
Yeah. Now, this is also like one piece of a larger puzzle, which the audience does
Sure.
not know what the full picture is. So, what
Yeah.
what were you given? Were you given all the episodes to pepper in clues for the larger picture, or was it kind of like
I
worked after?
Yeah, it was a little bit after. I was aware of the other stories, but there was still I didn't read them all when I started. I knew that each episode was about a character in its own in their own isolated environment. But I kind of like the mystery of not knowing where the other ones were going, so that I could just focus on containing this story and making this one feel unique in its own. I don't know. Yeah, I got to see the other sets. When we were prepping, because all the sets were built. So I got to see Uzo's, greenhouse world, which was really dope. But yeah, I kind of just went in a little blind, only just knowing that there were other stories that this was, connected to. But I wanted to just kind of make Nira's, her own
Well,
world.
I definitely think that you managed to do that, and I love how it
Oh,
both totally works on its own, but yet when the other episodes come along, you're like, I see
and you
now.
feel the
I
connection.
see it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh,
But
good, 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 good.
yeah, thank you so much for speaking with me. You did great work.
Thank
I cannot
you.
wait to see what you will be doing next.